Can you believe that these shots were filmed on a phone? It's actually true. All of this was shot on an iPhone 17 Pro using external lenses that allow you to create such an amazing visual. In this review I'll tell you about the pros and cons of these lenses and whether they are actually worth buying. Honestly, I used to be convinced that smartphone lenses were just another useless toy, but after using them I changed my mind. Moreover, after using them for some time, I really didn't want to shoot on my iPhone without these additional tools anymore. And the first lens we're going to talk about is the 8x telephoto lens. When I first saw it, I was sure it was just some cheap gadget. But how wrong I was. When I first attached it to my phone and saw what it could do on the screen, I was simply shocked. If you remember, at one point there was a camera called the Canon 5D Mark II with a full-frame sensor. At the time it was one of the first cameras that had a full-frame sensor and could shoot video in 1080p. I bought it, and I also had the opportunity to use a 72-200 lens with an f2.8 aperture. And this combination produced an incredibly beautiful image. I remember the feeling I had when I was shooting and getting this soft, pleasant background blur behind the subject with beautiful circles that is commonly called bokeh. Back then, the feeling from the images I was getting was simply indescribable. So when I attached this lens to my iPhone 17 Pro and looked at the screen of my iPhone, I simply couldn't believe my eyes. I remember exactly those feelings I had when I first shot with the Canon 5D Mark II. And at that moment I felt roughly the same thing, a kind of euphoria, a childlike excitement from the fact that you can get something on a phone that, if not exactly the same, is at least very close to that kind of background blur. This is very different from other lenses available for iPhones. The strongest blur and bokeh can be achieved when shooting small objects that are close to the lens. If you need to achieve strong background blur when shooting people, choose closer shots. But this lens is not perfect. Yes, it produces an amazing image, but there are quite a few things you need to keep in mind. First of all, there are light leaks and flares around the edges and even in the center of the frame. There are also strong chromatic aberrations and colored halos around objects. There are also strong geometric distortions that make the edges of the frame uneven. There are also some kind of dirt inside the lens. For example, you can see it in one of the shots, and I have no idea how to get it out. Overall, this lens is not suitable for creating a perfect, professional-looking image, for example, for commercial shooting. I would say it's more of a creative lens that gives the image a certain uniqueness. It adds a little something special to ordinary photos and videos. With this lens we can manually adjust the focus range. At the same time, the iPhone's autofocus will work within this small range. And if you set manual focus on the phone, you can create some interesting effects. For example, you can change the focus position from near to far or vice versa. On the other hand, when shooting video, the image shakes quite a lot while adjusting the focus, so you need to do this very carefully. You can also clearly see camera shake when using this lens because the focal length is so long and the stabilization in the phone simply cannot compensate for it. So this lens should only be used with a tripod. And as I already mentioned, it has quite strong geometric distortion, so it's not suitable for shooting architecture, buildings or anything similar because you can immediately see how much the image is distorted. This also affects people. If a person is not in the center of the frame, their body proportions become distorted. So it's best to keep any subjects right in the center of the frame. Overall, this lens is quite specific and won't be suitable for everyone. You need to get used to work with it. If you really wanted to, you could even use this lens to film yourself for a vlog and get a pleasant background blur. Right now I am streaming the image from my iPhone 17 Pro to second phone, so I can see myself and all the settings, while I am recording the audio with AirPods. Let me know in the comments what you think about the image and audio. And now I've switched to the 18mm lens, and this is the image you get with it. There are two big advantages when using it to film yourself. First, thanks to the wide angle, I know for sure that I'm in the frame even without looking at the phone screen because it's facing the other way. And the second advantage is that I am very close to the phone's microphone and you can hear me clearly. This means that in this setup we don't even need an additional microphone. In general, I like using this lens primarily for vlogging. You can hold the phone at arm's length and talk to the camera or simply film yourself and your surroundings. And again, you can do all of this easily and quickly without additional equipment such as a lavalier microphone or bulky tripods. Of course, you can also shoot architecture. Right now you can see footage shot with the 18mm lens as well as comparison with the image you get without this lens. You might have a question, why would you need an 18mm lens if the iPhone already has a 13mm lens? The thing is that the 13mm lens has a very small sensor and optics, so when shooting in the evening or at night, the image quality will be quite mediocre. But when using the 1x camera with the 18mm wide-angle lens, you can get a clean and sharp image even in difficult lighting conditions. Plus, with the main camera and the 18mm lens, you can get a small but pleasant amount of background blur behind the subject, which again is difficult to achieve when shooting with the built-in 0.5x lens. I also like using this lens for first-person shots when I want to show myself doing something with my hands. These shots looks really cool and allow viewers to become more immersed in the video. And now I have switched to the 16mm lens. This focal length is great for shooting interviews or portraits, allowing you to frame a person from the waist up and get an image without strong geometric distortion, as well as a pleasant background blur. Unlike the first lens, this one is, let's say, more correct and doesn't have strong chromatic aberrations or geometric distortions, so it's also suitable for shooting cityscapes or architecture. For example, I was walking around the city and filming different things I came across on the street in the evening. At the same time, we get less noise because we are shooting with the main camera, which has the largest sensor. Again, pay attention to the bokeh. It's also presented here, and the smaller the subject and the closer we hold it to the camera, the stronger and more beautiful the background blur becomes. Because the minimum focusing distance here is quite short, we can shoot close-up shots from a short distance, which can be useful for creating YouTube reviews. And the last lens we are going to talk about is the macro lens. Everything is pretty simple here. It's designed to shoot very small details from a very close distance. This can be insects, flowers, or simply small objects. This lens helps reveal things that will normally escape our attention and allows us to look at everyday objects in a completely different way. By the way, links to these lenses will be in the description. Be sure to check them out to find out the price and how you can buy them. As you've probably already realized, all of these lenses attach to the camera called 1x. 1x is the main camera on the phone, and whether it's an iPhone or Android phone, the main camera will always be the most advanced one. And that's exactly why additional lenses are most often attached to it, to unlock the full potential of this sensor. To attach these lenses to your phone, you need a special threaded case, which is also available from the manufacturer of these lenses. The case itself is very simple and looks rather inexpensive. I wouldn't say it looks terrible, but it doesn't look premium either. Its main disadvantage is that it doesn't have a MagSafe magnet, so out of the box you want to be able to magnetically attach your phone to your accessories. But you can additionally order a special plate, basically a separate MagSafe sticker. At the same time, if you want a more premium looking case, you can use threaded cases from other companies with these lenses, for example, Moment, ShiftCam, Nuver or SmallRig. The kit also includes special clips that allow you to attach these lenses to almost any phone even without using a case. I liked what's included in the package. Despite the fact that these aren't particularly expensive lenses, everything is made very neatly and looks nice. Each lens comes with its own box, instructions and tips on how to use it. There are also protective pouches with carabiner clips. That's quite convenient. But what isn't convenient is that the lens caps and the pouches aren't labeled. When you are digging around in your backpack trying to find the lenses you need, you cannot tell which one is which. I would also like the front and rear caps to be connected to each other, because it's very easy to lose the rear cap, it's tiny. One very important thing. To shoot this review I used a special video recording mode as well as a presets that help make the image look more cinematic, add film grain and generally make the video more unique. If you want to understand how all of this works, be sure to watch the next video using the link right here.